If you have any hopes of reforging the sacred blade, do as the Elder says. Go find the Earth element! Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more The Legend of Zelda, the Minish Cap. Last time we made our way here to the Minish Woods, and we discovered the Minish Village, and we also met Eslo, who now rests perfectly atop our head. And we also met with the Elder of the Minish Village, who said that to reforge the Sacred Blade we need to collect 4 elements, one of which is hidden here in these woods. But before we head onwards, I want to point out what Eslo just said. Every time you start up the game from here on out, you will be greeted with a little bit of information from Eslo about your next objective in your quest, a la Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. I'm not going to be showing this off further than that pretty much, since obviously I know where we're going, but it's a pretty interesting little feature, and I think it makes Minish Cap a little bit more accessible than other Zelda titles. But anyway, without further ado, we are going to head up here, and now that we are Minish size, we can squeeze through here to discover that this is indeed the Deepwood Shrine. So this would be the Deepwood Shrine the Minish Elder spoke of. He said something about there being monsters inside, didn't he? Hey now, no reason to be afraid or anything. I'll be waiting right here. No, wait, what am I saying? I'm not letting you leave me alone out here. Alright, so Eslo, against his better judgment, wants to come with us. Alrighty, so this is the first dungeon of the game, standard Zelda fare. I'm probably going to be doing the entire dungeon in this video, as it is relatively short, but some of the later dungeons in the Minish Cap are very, very long, and will probably take more than one episode to do. In here we've got these monsters, I believe they're called Slugulas. I don't believe killing them is required. Each one of them takes 2 hits, which isn't too terribly bad. But, without further ado, now that they are all dead, we want to press on each one of these switches to light these lanterns, because we do not actually have anything that can light the lanterns for us, and that will spawn a chest. Open it up and we get a small key. Use it to open locked doors and blocks. You can use it only in this dungeon. Small keys, standard Zelda fare, of course. Go up to a door. There's a locked door here. See if you can find a key to open it. A little late on the uptake, Eslo. Come up to it and press A, and the door will open. And in here, these monsters will actually fall from the ceiling. If you manage to slash at them before they flip over, they will actually take only 1 hit instead of 2. Do you see that lever? I think you should be able to pull it. Just stand in front of it and press R to grab it, then press down to pull. Yes, R not only is roll, it is also grab. Basically, R is anything that involves putting your hands forward and doing something with it. So anyway, let's come up here and let's quickly run over here and pull back this mushroom right here by grabbing onto it. And once Link is all red in the face, let go of the D-pad and you will go flying. Make sure to keep a hold of R so you'll actually go flying, otherwise you'll simply let go of the mushroom. Interesting mechanic, I really like it. They managed to pull off a lot of cool things with the Minish size as a backdrop. Now in here, we have the main room. In here we have this gigantic barrel, and you can actually go into it, which is pretty neat. Can't actually go anywhere other than these 2 areas. I believe we actually want to head out this way and take care of what's up here first. Press this button. Wow, look at the size of that barrel! Oh, right, how silly of me. It's not big, we're just small. Press this button and it loosens this end of the barrel. Very, very, very cool. These enemies right here we cannot actually do anything about. I believe they're called puff stools. They'll leave this dirt around, which will make you walk a little bit slower. Best ignore them for now. Now we can go up through this way, now that we have lit that switch, and we actually have more puff stools over here, which you gotta worry about. But if we come right up here, we have 2 switches. We want to press down them both. So if you come over here and you grab the statue and put it on one button, and then you stand on the other, it will burn off the other side of the barrel, which is very, very nice. Now that we have done that, we can head into the barrel, and something very, very interesting is going to happen. Whoa, what? Hey, be careful, my lad. The barrel just moved. Yes, the barrel did indeed move. Now that you have done that, you can actually spin the barrel around, and the doors will actually move around, so you can actually go to other areas of the dungeon, which is very, very, very cool. up here, is this movable? Okay, no, it's not. I think you have to access it from the other side. I don't remember what these enemies are called off the top of my head, but they will take 3 hits to take out. Cheap guy doesn't bring out a heart. If you pull back the mushroom only a little bit and let go, you'll fly over to this area, which actually doesn't do much for you. Is there a door over here? There is. Might want to go through this door first. Alright. Whoop. And we got more of these sluggulas to deal with. Now, over here, what we need now is something to hold down this switch. This is a bit of an interesting puzzle because, unlike previous switches we've had to hold down in this dungeon, you do not want to pick anything up. You want to actually push this. If you pick up the barrel, then when you attempt to put it down, you will actually throw it, which would not be too terribly good. Set it on that switch, and we can now head over this way into this room. Now, this room is a little bit funky. Once you take hold of something with R, use the D-pad to push or pull it. This is extremely important, so I hope you take pains to remember it. Alrighty, so as you will probably guess, once we hold down both of these switches, a chest will appear. But we want to be in here, so we actually want to pull out this statue first, and then pull it in. And we get a small key. Use it to open locked doors and blocks. You can use it only in this dungeon, standard fare. So now that we've done that, we can push the statue back out and backtrack a little bit. Luckily, the pot actually stays in place as we transition rooms, so this bridge will still be present for us. Now, as we want to head back here, we probably want to go all the way with that mushroom. As you can see, I pushed that block right there. Most blocks of that nature will only be pushed in a single direction. So I guess you just gotta experiment. Let's pull this all the way back here and fling ourselves up here. Let's see, are there any hearts in these pots? Money. Nothing. Nothing. Darn it. Open up this chest. You've found a dungeon map. Check it on your map screen. Lighter rooms are one you visited. The blinking room is your location. Press up or down on the D-pad to check different floors. Yes, if you open up the menu here and we switch over to the map, you can see this is the dungeon that we have yet to explore. Very, very interesting. Very good fare. Not too terribly large for a dungeon at this point, but I assure you some of the dungeons in this game become really, really big. Just as a warning, this one's actually the shortest one in the game. Probably not going to start getting too terribly long until maybe the 4th dungeon in the game, so that's not too bad. So now we want to roll up this way, and here's this door. No matter what we try, it will not open. So instead, we're going to have to go this way. And in here, got more stuff to deal with. What's up here? I seem to remember there'd be something important. Okay, we don't want to jump down there quite yet, I don't think. I think what we want to do is actually grab hold of this mushroom and fling ourselves across the water. You have to be really careful. If you pull it too far, you'll actually go flying into the water, which wouldn't be very good. Now that we've pushed that, this bridge will appear, allowing us to pull this back and fling ourselves over this way. So we have a few options as to where to go. Probably want to take this route first. There are a lot of sluggulas in this room, so you gotta be careful. Ooh, a heart. Very good. Alrighty. There are a lot of monsters in this room. Wow, I forgot how many exactly there were. Alright, now this room's a little bit interesting because it's so narrow. What you want to do is you want to push this statue one past this button, and then roll on around here, and then grab this one. And that will allow you to pass. Very nice. In this room, what could this be? It is a mini-boss, so to speak. We have to kill all of the monsters in this room to advance, a very standard mechanic in Zelda games, also present here. Kill all 3 of these monsters, and a key will fall. So now that we've got our 3rd small key of the dungeon, we can proceed onwards. Probably a good thing we went this way instead, because I believe this will actually plop us back, into this original room right here, which is very nice. So now we can proceed northwards as planned, and hop down this ledge. Basically, any unprotected ledge you can jump off of, just be very, very careful when you do, because you might not be greeted with something very pleasant when you jump off. Man, I'm taking a lot of damage here. A little bit embarrassing, really. Head down the stairs right here, and you will quickly notice that there is a chest down here, which I think I just messed up getting. If you mess up a block pushing puzzle, all you have to do is leave the room and then come back, and the chest, blocks blocking the chest will be reset. What you want to do here is push this one up and this one left, and you come up here and you got the compass. Use it to find the locations of hidden items. Press start and then L or R to view the map screen. Yes, now that we have the compass, you can see that not only does it tell us the location of the boss, but it also tells us the location of all remaining chests within the dungeon. All of which I plan on grabbing. Alrighty, so now that we exit this menu screen, come over here, we can slash at this guy, and you can come across here, but if you come over here instead and push this button, this chest appears, but unfortunately, now there's a puzzler. I suspect there's not much more we can do here right now. Let's press on. Perhaps we can work this from another angle later on. Let's press on and on and on indeed. Alrighty, so let's head right on up here, and through this door is a very, very, very dusty room. Better be careful about these puff stools. There's nothing you can do about them, as I said. Press this button, and that opens up this door permanently, which is actually a bit of a shortcut back to the opening of the dungeon, which is very nice. So without further ado, we're going to head on here and use our key on this door. And through this door, you hear that music? There is actually some very, very, very interesting trivia about this music. This music is actually the Japanese battle theme from Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. It was only in the Japanese version. I'll put a little clip of it right here so you guys can hear exactly what I'm talking about. Alrighty, now that I'm done talking about music and running around like an idiot, what you want to do is slash this monster's nose. It is actually called a madder pillar. Slash its tail a little bit, and then it will turn red, indicating you cannot actually hit it. But it'll eventually turn back to blue, and then you slash its tail again, and let loose on it. Make sure to keep out of its way, and be sure to watch out for these spider webs on the wall, because you will in fact bounce off them. Slash its nose once again, run around to its tail, and eventually it will die, but unfortunately I'm not inflicting enough hits for it to be done in 3. Ooh, I'm actually having a little bit of a bad time here. Alright, come around, guy. There you go. And now he is dead. And now that we have killed the main mini-boss of the dungeon, you come over to the chest that appears, and what will we find? You got the Gust Jar. Hold the button to draw things in and release it to fire them out. Set it to A or B on the item screen to use it. Yes, we now have the main dungeon item, and as you, if you are a Zelda veteran, are probably aware, this item is not in any other Zelda game. So basically, what my point is Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap has a lot of very unique items that are not in any other Zelda game. This being one of them. You hold A, and you can suck stuff in. It'll eventually become faster and faster and faster, and then it'll puff something out when you let go of the button. Unfortunately, if you pull on these spider webs laterally, nothing will happen, although they will bounce around a little bit. You don't need to pull all of these off, and I believe all of the ones that are not blocking doors will actually regenerate once you enter the room. But anyway, if we head back into this room over here, instead of progressing onwards, and you use this thing on one of these puff stools, they will turn gray, which will make them vulnerable to your attacks, which is very, very nice. Now there's actually a lot of hidden stuff in this room. Here's one button. Open up this chest, and you get 10 mysterious shells. I'm not sure what they're for, but let's just hold on to them for now. Those will be important later, but not for a little bit, so you might as well just collect them, because they are in fact very important for completion of the game. If you're going for 100%. If you're not, I suppose you can ignore them. This will reveal another switch, Open up this chest, and you get 10 more mysterious shells. I believe there's something else in this room that we're definitely going to find. Here it is. Press this button, and this blue teleporter will appear right up here, which is very, very, very important for later. But for now, I think we're going to want to head back into this room and proceed this way. Alrighty, now we can head down here, and in this room you will find your third piece of heart. Very, very nice. You now have 3. Collect just 1 more to increase your life energy. Yes, unlike most Zelda games, there are actually pieces of heart hidden in most dungeons in this game, which is very, very, very interesting. Mechanic that I don't believe is in very many other Zelda games. I believe Twilight Princess features that. But anyway, now that we have done that, we can head back over here, and we could suck off that spiderweb, but I actually want to head back to the beginning of the dungeon, because that blue teleporter is actually very, very, very interesting. The blue teleporter usually signifies the midpoint of a dungeon, and I suppose here it's no different. But anyway, here you might realize that you have no way to proceed. Except, now we have the gust jar. It will pull the mushroom, and once it inhales the mushroom, it will actually pull you across, which is very, very, very cool. The items in Minish Cap have a lot of applications. It's very, very, very cool. I'm saying that a lot. Maybe I'll try and stop. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But anyway, we now want to head through this teleporter right here. And as we head up here, we will collect our 4th piece of heart. You completed a new heart container. Your life energy has been replenished and increased. Yeah, Minish Cap is one of the very few Zelda games where you can actually have more than the beginning 3 hearts by the time you fight the first dungeon boss, which is very, very, very neat. See what I did there? Neat. Not cool. Neat. Alrighty, so now that we have done that, we want to... Oop. I just noticed that our barrel has been moved around since I have been through this room before, but we can actually push this right here, and I want to say there's actually a secret right here. I hope I'm not wrong about this, because if I am, I might be wasting a little bit of time. Alright, so take these guys out. Aha, yes, there is a button. Press the button, and you get 10 more mysterious shells. Very, very interesting. Really gotta stop that. Alrighty, but now that we are here, you can see that there is this spider web. We want to pull on this one with our gust jar, and it reveals a hidden doorway. We want to jump right on in it, and we are in the basement. Very interesting. Now what? Unless we find a way to travel by water, we won't be going much farther. Yes. How mysterious. But as we saw with the mushroom earlier, you can pull other things with the gust jar, this lily pad being one of them. Let's draw it forward, and we can now stand on it. Now if you just press A with the gust jar, it will simply puff out a little bit of air, but if you suck in with the gust jar a lot, and then let go, you'll go flying much further. So let's fall down this waterfall right here. And basically mashing the A button right here is how you're going to want to transit this room right here. Be very careful not to fall in, because it can be pretty bad if you do. I believe we want to head this way first. No, turn around. There we go. The thing can be a little bit temperamental to control, but I think for what it is, it controls about as best as it can, while still being believable. What we want to do is we want to head up to these stairs right here and hop on. Oop. Yeah, it's a little bit finicky. Want to get it as close to the wall as possible and hop up here. And we actually want to push a pot onto that button because, as you can see, it needs to be held down. So what we want to do is pick up this pot and throw, and then we can push this pot. Make sure not to grab it. If you grab it, you'll end up picking it up, and that wouldn't be very good. So now that we've held down that button, we can head onwards here. Beyond this interesting barrier that doesn't seem very Minish-like, but okay. And now, here we are in this room that we were stumped in earlier, which is very, very, very cool. As you can see, there are a lot of applications with this gust jar, both in combat and in world travel. But now that we are over here, we can grab this chest, and we get a small key. Use it to open locked doors and blocks. Yes, we've heard this spiel already. So now we want to head right on up here. Now I'm trying to remember exactly where it is I need to go next. Probably be a good thing to check out our map. What is a room we haven't explored yet? That looks like a very interesting room that we haven't explored yet. We should probably go check that out. I believe we actually went the wrong way earlier. That's actually not the way I meant to go down in the basement, so we're actually going to have to go back to the basement. But there is actually a chest in this room, so we might as well check it out now that we are here. More than likely there is a button around here. Let's see if we can find it. Yes, there it is. Spawns a chest, and we get 20 mysterious shells. Man, they're really giving us a ton of these. They must be important. Alrighty, so we head down here, and our lily pad actually stays in place, which is very nice. Oop, fell in that one little pixel of water, of course. Now, we want to head back this way, because I actually made a mistake earlier, but it's probably a good thing, because we managed to grab that chest with the mysterious shells in it. Luckily, a lot of these rooms stay with all the pots where you put them, otherwise things would be a lot more frustrating. Alrighty, so let's head right on through here, and up this way is actually the way we want to go, although I suppose we actually needed that small key, because I'm pretty sure the door up here is actually locked. Yes, it is. So I actually did make a good call. Let's head through this door. And we have this room. Very, very cool. Got another big chest right there. I'm saying very, very a lot in this video. I'm not entirely sure why I'm doing that. I just sort of am. Maybe it's just like Chugga Conroy's sheer fact, something I sort of just say without really realizing it. We want to suck up all these mushrooms with the gust jars we saw before and head over here, and inside this chest we have... You got the big key. Use it to open big doors. But we haven't seen a big door in this dungeon yet, now have we? But if we press on this switch, we unlock the red portal. The red portal usually is near the very, very end of the dungeon, so as you can probably guess, we're very close to the end of this party right here. So we want to head through, back to the beginning here. If you haven't grabbed the heart piece through the blue portal yet, I highly suggest you do so now, because, spoiler alert, we are heading to the boss. Want to suck off these spider webs and head downstairs. And we have this very interesting room, although I believe there is actually a little bit of a secret you can grab right over here if we suck up this one. So head upstairs right here, and yes indeed, there is a secret right here. Push this and you get a chest with 20 rupees in it. That's great. Can we push any more of these? No, unfortunately not. So now that we have grabbed that, we want to head back over to the right here, and head up the stairs, once again, and of course, once again, we are going to be using our gust jar to navigate this room. I like how they use the dungeon item a lot for navigation, and not just for combat against the boss. As you can see right there, I didn't pull that thing quite far enough. We actually want to pull it further back than the shoreline to get across here. I believe all these pots have hearts in them if you still need them. But I'm at full health, so without further ado, let us walk up to the big door, press A, and enter. This is the boss of the Deepwood Shrine, the big green choo-choo. It is a normal, completely normal-sized choo-choo, but as you can see, us being Minish-sized, this thing has become a much larger threat, both figuratively and literally from our perspective. It wobbles around and jumps around. Luckily, unlike when we're normal-sized, it doesn't actually sink into the ground periodically. So what do you want to do here? You, of course, want to use the dungeon item to start sucking the goo out of its base. Once the base actually gets small enough, it will be unable to jump. But, of course, once it gets small enough, it will lose its balance, wobble around a little bit, and eventually keel over. So you want to go right on over to it and just let loose with your sword. After a while, it will actually get more aggressive and begin jumping a lot more often. What you want to do is basically repeat this process. Ooh, just a little bit more. There we go. So it's going to hobble around a little bit more. I really like how creative this boss is. I mean, it's just a normal choo-choo, but because of our size, it has instantly become a much larger threat. It's very, very creative, and I just absolutely love it. I also love how you use the gust jar to take down its base, because it's not the kind of mechanic you see very often in Zelda games, but yet here it is. Now, as you can see, it is now very aggressive, jumping around a lot, so you want to be very careful with it. You want to take down its base little by little, and eventually it will become unable to jump because its base is so tiny. Now that we have sucked it out, we just want to lead it around a little bit. It will come towards you and attempt to crush you with its gigantic head. But now that it is downed... Oh wow, we actually haven't taken it down yet. Yes, the bosses are actually not based entirely on the number of cycles you do with the combat. They're basically based on the number of hits, and if you fail to inflict enough hits during every cycle, you might actually have extra cycles in this game, which is not something you see very often in Zeldas. They like to keep their 3-hit thing to their standard, pretty much. Alrighty, so I believe he's going to keel over right here. Yes, he is. Yeah, 1 hit. But anyway, now that we have done that, he is done. You got the Earth element. The power of the Earth is the source of all living things. The Earth element is the embodiment of that power. Now that we have obtained the Earth element and we have defeated the boss, one of these will drop. What is this? This is actually a heart container. Your life energy has increased and been replenished. Every time you defeat a boss in The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap, and most other Zelda games for that matter, you will obtain a full heart container. So now that we have defeated the first boss of the Minish Cap, we now actually have 5 hearts, which is pretty crazy. And of course, once you beat the boss, there is obviously a portal that is going to appear to send you out, because there's no other way out of this room. These portals will appear green. So let's head on right through here, and... Ah, we've got the Earth element! You must go tell the Elder at once! Indeed, we shall go tell the Elder that we have obtained the Earth element in the next episode. So, now that we have navigated the Deepwood Shrine, next time The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap, we are going to be heading back into the Minish Village and telling the Elder that we have obtained our first element. And I will see you guys next time.